What's up, vaqueros? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what is, I'm sure, to be one of many nerfs we're going to be getting to the Lockwood 300, in particular the dual trigger attachment that everybody's been rocking and has been plaguing Warzone with its crazy one-shot kill range. So what exactly happened? Well, Raven Software went and basically nerfed the range on this thing, but they didn't really touch the damage, it seems like. So with today's video, what I want to do is share with you the range changes, if it's still going to be overpowered or not, and kind of my thoughts overall. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and just get into it. So if you've been living under a rock, this gun has basically taken over the close range meta. Despite it having a long reload between shots, it had a crazy ridiculous one-shot kill range. I mean, literally a 0 millisecond time to kill compared to, like, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 milliseconds for other SMGs and stuff. This gun has been overtaking the close range meta. So Raven Software not too long ago reduced the range. If you look at the patch notes, basically just cut the range down for this particular attachment. First of all, I'm pretty happy they didn't touch the overall gun, like the base gun itself. They just touched this attachment, which I am very thankful for, because the base gun really didn't need a nerf. In fact, it needs a little bit more love than anything, but with this attachment, it just goes from 0 to 1,000. So I'm glad that they nerfed only the attachment and not the base gun. So the big question in everyone's mind is, does this thing still one-shot kill? And you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that yes, in fact, it does still one-shot kill. But what exactly changed? If we look at the ranges, first of all, the base gun, when you were fully aimed down sights pre-nerf, this gun would one-shot kill around the 7-meter mark. Now with the base gun, you're looking at about a 5.1 or 5-meter one-shot kill if you are fully aiming down sights, and it's about a 3-meter one-shot kill if you are hip firing. So that's a pretty big reduction to its one-shot kill, but honestly, that's with no attachments, and that's kind of what I expected the gun to be at best after a nerf, and it's still kind of strong, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So if we use the build that everybody's been using, which is basically one of the suppressors for range and the big barrel, the A12 barrel, your one-shot kill range is looking to be about that 6.8 meter mark, give or take a few tenths of a meter. Shotguns are very finicky to test in Warzone, and it might have to play it too with some headshot damage multipliers, but basically around that 6.8, maybe 7-meter mark, you can expect to get a one-shot kill fully aiming down sights, and hip firing, you're gonna be expecting that around that 3.7-ish meter mark. Again, these are hand tested, they're within the margin of error, and they might be a few tenths of a meter off, so just keep that in mind. But now what's interesting is with Dragon's Breath, if you kit this out for damage, like if you actually tune it for damage range and you use one of the big suppressors with the big barrel, and of course slap on Dragon's Breath, you're going to be getting a one-shot kill of about 9.5 meters with the burn that takes effect. Now it's not a like instant kill, it's not exactly 0 because there is a slight burn that has to kick in, but it's basically a one-shot kill. So if you rock this thing with Dragon's Breath, max range attachments, and tune it for range, you're still going to get a ridiculous one-shot kill. I mean, 9.5 meters, that's basically what it was pre-nerf. So if you kind of want what it felt like before the nerf, just rock it with Dragon's Breath. And then of course the hip fire for that particular build is going to be one-shotting out to about that 4.5 meter mark, give or take a few tenths of a meter, like I said already. So as you can see, this thing is still ridiculous. They did nerf it. It is in fact nerfed, but was it enough? And this is where I'm going to get into the more subjective part of the video. Now, I know I might get some slack for this, but honestly, I feel like this nerf was not enough. I went in and I played with this gun, and I used the Doom bundle because it was so hilarious to run around like the Doom Slayer. And honestly, it still felt really, really easy to use, and it still felt ridiculously satisfying, which is a good thing. But in my opinion, the risks and the reward are still out of whack. There's still way too much reward for how much risk it takes to use. Yes, I know there is a delay between shots, but it just doesn't weigh out the same. In my opinion, it could be a little bit slower, and with the range it has now, that might balance it out if they just cut down on the reload time. But in all honesty, I just don't think it should be one-shotting this far. It's really, really hurting the other shotguns and their utility in the game, because why would you want to run the Bryson 800 now when you can rock this thing? Yeah, of course you have multiple shots with the Bryson, but it's not that difficult to use this thing, and the reload speed isn't that bad. I'm telling you, it's not that difficult to use. Yes, of course, you miss a shot, you're probably dead, but again, the likelihood of that actually happening and you missing a shot, it's really not that bad if you're a decent player. So in my opinion, these one-shot kill ranges are still a little too much. I was thinking that the max one-shot kill range that you'd be able to get with this thing with all of its ranged attachments would be about that 5-meter mark, but that's basically what the base gun is now after this nerf. So I think that it's just still a little bit too much. Now, I don't want to go nerfing this into the ground. I do think it should still one-shot kill. You're firing 2 barrels out of a double barrel shotgun, for Christ's sake. Yes, it should one-shot kill. That sounds totally reasonable. It's just the range, I don't think should be pushing past that 3 or 4 meter mark at all, even when you're aiming down sights. I just don't think that's a great idea in this game that we've already established a longer time to kill, where there's not too much movement yet until we get into Modern Warfare 3, but I do think that this gun could use a slight bit of a nerf again. And I know I might get some slack from you guys, but I'm willing to take it. I just feel like it's still a little too easy to use, and that's just my opinion. But of course, as always, I want to know down below in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you think that the gun is finally in a better spot? Do you think it's still a little too overpowered? Do you think it's still ridiculously broken? What would you change about it if you could change something? And with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.
You're down one squad mate. We'll get you redeployed faster.